Welcome on in. This is Sprues and Studs, and we really don't talk about like the current state of affairs of just the action figure world, as well as very little of the GW miniature world. But since we have a little bit of downtime because there's not many action figures that I'm interested that are coming out, I figure, hey, why the hell not? So the first thing that we're going to talk about is McFarlane. Yes, I know we don't really talk about McFarlane too much on the channel for, well, maybe obvious reasons, but there's still some McFarlane fans out there. So one thing I want to bring up is, where are these specific action figures? By specific action figures, I'm referring to the Gold Label Iron Warrior, the Blood Angels Reaver Sergeant, as well as the Gene Stealer Ymgarl. Now on the McFarlane website, it says that you can get these 3 action figures at the Bullseye Corporation, and I've been looking probably on and off for close to about a month or so, and all the time I'm clicking on the availability button, it says they're not available. So where the heck are they right now? I really want to get these action figures to review. Obviously that is part of my job, and it is kind of disappointing that I can't get my hands on them. So members of the chapter, if you have any leads whatsoever to where to get these action figures aside from the Bullseye Corporation, that would be fantastic. I think I did briefly see them on the biggest auction website, and I also did not see them on the biggest online realtor in the United States. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Like I said, I really want to review these figures, so please let me know if you have a lead. But I think also, at least this upcoming September, we are going to be getting 2 action figures. One is one that I'm really excited about, and I'm surprised that JoyToy hasn't really released yet, and that is the Space Marine Eliminator. That really makes me very happy that McFarlane is going to actually release one, and it comes with a bolt sniper rifle, and there's also an artist-proof version of that one. And the other one is an Astra Militarum one, which is the, I think it's a Kazarkan foot soldier that has a plasma pistol. And the other one is a artist-proof version of that, and that comes with a grenade launcher, so that'd be really cool to see. So moving on to the JoyToy side of things, which is obviously the bread and butter of this channel, I'm going to talk about the Horus Heresy. I know that I haven't been doing too many Horus Heresy reviews. As I had stated before, most of these action figures I'm not really interested in just because of the lore or the aesthetic. It just doesn't capture the same attention that I have to Warhammer 40K. So that's probably the biggest reasons. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be collecting a few choice action figures. And speaking of a few choice action figures, it looks like Leman Russ is going to be coming out this month in August. I am very, very excited about that. Hey, who the hell isn't excited about a Primarch landing into our hands so that we can play with them? And then the second one is obviously Magnus the Red for the Thousand Sons, and I believe that should be releasing sometime in September. So again, I am super excited about these 2 action figures, and surprisingly enough, I am also excited about 30K Ahriman. I think that I have said before in the past in this channel that if I were to go Chaos, the changeling powers of Tzeentch has taken a hold of me, as the Thousand Sons are my favorite Chaos Space Marine faction. So I definitely will be doing a review on Ahriman. So please look forward to those 3 reviews in the coming very near future. So just last week, we saw the release of the Horus Heresy Ultramarines. I thought it was a bit of an interesting choice, mainly because I kind of wish that JoyToy would focus in on some other really non-popular or less popular factions to get started so that they can get a Primarch out there that has not been released before. So obviously with the release of the Ultramarines, there's going to be the release of 30K Robute. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to look. Obviously, if there is a miniature for that action figure, JoyToy definitely will be producing that one. So look forward to that, probably maybe in October or November, I'm going to guess. But the interesting thing is JoyToy always likes to release something as an antithesis to the Loyalist Primarchs for the next release of a Chaos Primarch. So I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think that the next Chaos Space Marine Primarch is going to be. Somebody that serves as a foil to Guilliman, just as Leman Russ serves as a foil to Magnus. And now for the 40K side of things, I believe in September we are going to be getting kind of a reissue slash recolor of the Leviathan box Terminators. This time, instead of Ultramarines, it's actually going to be Blood Angels. So I think that's a bit of a cool thing, but it's not really that attention grabbing to me. What is attention to grabbing, however, is going to be the release of the Sanguinary Guard. That really has me super excited, just because that's, again, one of those big units in the Blood Angels army that is at the forefront of everybody's army. They're awesome, they're overpowered, and are basically what the Blood Angels army are super famous for. So I do want to see all those beautiful white wings, that lustrous golden armor, as well as the various Encarmine weapons, as well as those Angelus bolt guns too. This is really getting me super excited about the release of those figures. So this is future me talking, and it looks like JoyToy has given us a couple more new action figures for the Warhammer 40K side. The announcement just came like, what, today, which is currently filming on Thursday. So we got the announcement of a new Ultramarines captain, and then another announcement for an Iron Hands captain. And I'm actually really surprised that JoyToy is going to be releasing an Iron Hands captain. It sort of came out of nowhere, which is pretty cool that they are actually getting an action figure. And I think Iron Hands hasn't gotten anything for almost like, it feels like a year or something like that. So it's good to see another faction get some action figures. So originally, at the time of filming of the original filming, I was talking about the new releases for the Blood Angels Warhammer 40K models, the miniatures. And I know that we don't get into the miniature realm too much on this channel, but since Blood Angels are my favorite faction, I thought that I would comment on them. And the only comment that I'm going to say right now is, to be honest, I'm going to make a whole entire video, because at the time of original filming, we had only gotten half of the announcement. Basically, it was Lamarte's Asterath as well as the Death Company, and not the second half of the announcement that happened earlier this week. So look forward to another video later on, probably after this one, that I will actually talk about the state of affairs of the Blood Angels miniatures refresh. So look forward to that soon. And now back to my past self. And the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about were the Knights. Now, it was teased sometime probably very late last year that JoyToy was going to release the Knights, and it's now August, and we really haven't heard too much about these things. Now, I had heard over the grapevine that they were having some issues because the top of the Knight was so heavy, and I guess it was really wearing down on the joints on the leg area, so they're having some sort of manufacturing / production issues just because of the weight. Now, that's the last that I've heard of these Knights. Now, if you have any more information, just leave a comment in the comment section. I would definitely like to know what's going on with them. So hopefully at some point in time this year, JoyToy will at least announce it and maybe release it late this year, if not very early on next year, because I think that a lot of the fans, as well as members of the chapter, really want to see that, and I have been waiting, and we have been waiting, to be honest, for a very long time for that to be released. So hopefully we will see that happen. All right, members of the chapter, thank you so much for joining me on this little talk about the current state of affairs of the action figure realm. So again, if you have any sort of information with regards to what's going on with those McFarlane Blood Angels Reaver, the next Horus Heresy Primarch that's going to be releasing alongside of Guilliman, as well as the current state of affairs of the Knights, that would be most appreciated if you can post a comment in the comment section. Once again, members of the chapter, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate all the comments, likes, as well as the answers to some of the questions that I posed during my action figure reviews. I am very thankful for all you lore masters who enlightened this brain of mine. That is it for now, and I'll see you all in the next one.